Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Jake here and welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. And in today's video, guys, we are going to be doing some more Rainbow Cup battles. Specifically, in this first set here, we're going to be doing a best of 3 versus MattyFBaby. If you guys aren't aware of who he is, which we've been over this several times now, he is a fellow YouTube content creator, very funny, and an awesome trainer to battle with. He is very competitive and he definitely knows his stuff. So we're gonna be showing teams again in this video because it seemed like a lot of you guys liked the formats of the last 2 videos with my Rainbow Cup tournament, which, by the way, is just doing absolutely incredible right now, guys. I'm super thankful that people watch my stuff, and the feedback I get means a lot, and it means I can only just try to keep growing from here and try to keep improving through my videos daily. So yeah, if you guys enjoy this video, please don't forget to smash that like, smash that subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I hope these videos meet your expectations, and yeah, let's get right into these battles. So we're gonna be showing off teams here, like I said, and we're gonna have, you know, their teams on each side of the screen. It's not like the Self GG tournament page type ones like I do for tournaments. It's going to be more so of ones I made myself. Like, you know, I have the pictures of the Pokemon and their teams, and I have the team comps here on my other monitor, which is why I keep looking from here to here. So yeah, that's, I just want to point that out real fast. But yeah, so Matty's team is Azumarill, Ivysaur, Quagsire, Fortress, Ninetales, and Execute. So very interesting team. He did use Execute against me before, and he definitely uses Ivysaur against me a lot. But right off the bat, because my team, you'll see on the left here, right below my camera, and then you'll see Matty's on the right. I noticed that Quagsire has some pretty good matchups here. It can beat Azumarill in the 2-shield scenario. It can mirror the Quagsire. Obviously it'll lose to Execute and Ivysaur, but then it can do also really well against Ninetales and pretty decently against Fortress. So I'm gonna lead Quagsire here. It's probably one of the safest leads in my opinion, because the odds to lead Ivysaur or Execute aren't very high, I feel like. And then we have Ninetales, obviously, because if you guys look at his team, you know, Ninetales has positive matchups against Ivysaur, Execute, Fortress, that double super effective damage, and then it has the mirror match against another Ninetales. Then obviously it'll lose to Quagsire and Azumarill. That's why I have Venusaur here in the back, guys. That is to cover for that weakness that Ninetales has. It's to cover it from things like, you know, Quagsire and that Azumarill. So anyways, let's jump right into this first best of 3 against MattyFBaby. I'll leave a link down below. Yeah, I'm sure all you guys watch him. I'm very positive on that. And he opens Fortress, guys, and we open Quagsire. So this is an okay matchup. Quagsire was my safe lead for a reason, because I was expecting something besides the 2 grass types here. So he decides to not block that Stone Edge, and he's going to fire off the Earthquake. We're going to read that correctly. He definitely could have baited us there with a Rock Tomb or a Heavy Slam, but yeah, we're just going to fire off another Stone Edge here, which is, he's surprisingly going to not shield, so he gives up that matchup, but then he's going to bring the Execute. And right here, guys, I screwed up. I used Earthquake, which is not very effective. I believe Stone Edge there is neutral. If I recall correctly, I think it is, so I kind of screwed up there using Earthquake, but that's my B. But now we have Ninetales, and I know Execute has Ancient Power, but in the moment I was like, I think I could tank it, which obviously I can. I can tank 2 actually, but they'll leave me very low. And his last Pokemon is that Quagsire, which he saved both shields for, guys. And this is exactly why I run Venusaur, dudes and ladies. Because, you know, like, people are gonna run Quagsire, guys. He is the hard, like, he's the pot of gold in this cup, guys. He is the prized possession. He is probably one of the biggest threats in this cup, and I almost always carry a Venusaur on my team just in case. I notice people love to go 2 water types on their team or more, so that's why I bring Venusaur. So we win that game 1 against Matty. And he still had 2 shields left over, so yeah, he was gambling there on the fact that I didn't have a Venusaur in the back, but I did, so that worked out heavily for us. Let's jump into game number 2 right now. Alright guys, here we are in game number 2. So we're gonna go with Ninetales in the front, switch up our flow a little bit. We want him to think we're gonna lead Quagsire again, so that he would lead a grass type, and we're gonna go Ninetales in the lead. Same lineup, just different placements, but we're gonna keep Venusaur in the back once again, in case of that possibility. And let's see what he opens here. He opens this Azumarill, so not a good matchup for us at all. We are not running Solar Beam. Although I definitely see the benefits of running Solar Beam, guys. It's just too easy to tell sometimes if they're going to use Solar Beam. So here, I'm not sure why, but it queued my Flamethrower when I was clearly tapping on Venusaur in the moment. And I'm not sure why it did that. So we switch into Venusaur super late, and that's kind of a bad thing for me. But he switches into the Execute, guys, and look at that. He does not block Sludge Bomb. So that is going to absolutely annihilate that Execute. He talked to Matty afterward. He said, I think he said something like he didn't think I had Sludge Bomb ready to go or something. I don't know, but regardless, I mean, he saves a shield, but then he loses that matchup, which he needed to win, because now we have a Azumarill versus my Venusaur, and I'm going to double shield this, obviously, because I'm going to overcharge here, gain some energy, and switch out into Quagsire. And he decides to swap, but we already have an Earthquake, guys, and he's going to have to block this or take severe damage. And he does not block once again, so that's just incredible for us. He has to finish me off here, otherwise I would have gotten to a Stone Edge and finish him off. And we have the hard counters in the back, guys. We have that Ninetales. We have Side Shock. We're going to force that last shield because Azumarill has no HP left. And we're going to immediately, actually not immediately, we're going to nearly finish off that Azumarill, and we have a Frenzy Plant ready to go on our Venusaur. So close game, actually. Like even like considering the fact that I lost that lead matchup, that was a pretty even game, guys. So yeah, as you see my map there. So anyways, guys, yep, that finishes off the best of 3 between me and Matty. I hope you guys enjoyed those battles, and let's move on to our next opponent. Which won't be best of 3s. It'll just be, you know, full on team versus team. So I'm gonna try to predict his lineup each and every time. So let's get right into that now. All right, guys, here we are in our next opponent, which actually is a guy you've seen on the channel several times now. He's in the Ghost Stadium Discord. He marks himself as a casual player, but he's definitely a lot more skilled than you think a casual player would be. He definitely knows his stuff, guys. I'm just saying that now. And he competes in tournaments, so yeah, and he does very well in his. So, but we're gonna read off his team here on the side. It is Ninetales, Quagsire, Lantern, Venusaur, Blastoise, and Fortress. So the first thing I notice initially is that he's running 3 water types, guys. He's running 3 things that are super weak to Venusaur, but he does have 2 hard counters to Venusaur, being Fortress and Ninetales. So we definitely have to watch out for that. But the odds of him running a water type here are, well, 3 out of 6. Or simplified, 1 out of 2. Because if he doesn't want to run a water type, then he's leaving himself open to fire types. Especially in this line. So he's almost forced. He's pretty much forced to run a water type, which means I know I can have one positive matchup against this team. As long as I lock in that Venusaur against the water type, I'm good to go. So then, you guys know the drill. What blocks Venusaur, guys? Leave it in the comments down below if you know what walls Venusaur in this cup. I'll give you 3 seconds to write it down. It's Fortress, guys. Fortress and Ninetales both wall Venusaur. And what beats those? Ninetales and Quagsire, guys. So, very good chemistry here. And we even pick up wins versus Lantern with Quagsire. That's even better. And we even pick up wins against, let's see here. we pick up wins against Venusaur with Ninetales. So this lineup is perfectly rounded against the squad. Let's get right into these battles. Now, I haven't been using Raichu much, guys. He's not like a waste of a slot on my team, but I just don't ever feel like using him. Like against this team, there's really no use for him besides Blastoise and Fortress. But yeah, he opens Lantern, so that is really good for us. We're gonna go straight for the Earthquake. We don't want to mess around. We want to burn shields, and he decides to not block. So interesting choice there. Most people would probably block that and then switch out maybe with stored energy, but he brings in that Fortress with which we are completely okay with. He eats that first Stone Edge, so we're already up a lot of health at least. And he's going to finally use one shield, and we're going to make a perfect swap into Ninetales there, but he uses Rock Tomb. And I was like hoping he didn't have Rock Tomb, but he did. So he's going to bring in his Quagsire there. Probably not the most smart switch by me. I was playing a little too aggressively there, I think. A little too confident maybe. But we're going to obviously let our Ninetales go there because no reason to spend both shields on it. And we're going to bring in our Venusaur because we know we can farm up the rest of this match. UFC notification, sorry about that. And he's going to use Sludge Bomb, which actually doesn't do that much damage. And we know his last Pokemon is Fortress with very little HP. And Frenzy Plant can pretty much finish the job here. So let's see. I think it does. Yes, it does, and we take that game. So GG's username Will. That is his in-game name. Well played in that. Oh yeah, guys, and you guys just saw how many battles we won there. I hit 1,000 battles won, guys, the other day. I think it was Sunday night or Saturday night. I posted a picture on Twitter. If you guys aren't following me, hit me up on Twitter at @TheyCallMeJake_. Link to my Twitter, it will always be down below in the description. So if you want to keep up with me on other social medias, you can follow me there. I tweet out when I post a video, so if you guys don't get my videos to your sub boxes, you can always check that out. So in this next game, he's going to open Blastoise, and we're going to open Ninetales, so very bad for us. We're going to swap out of there after getting a little bit of energy. We expect an Ice Beam to come out here. We decide to not shield because, well, we're already in a bad spot. Yeah, that was basically a sacrifice. I didn't want his Blastoise. I wanted his Blastoise to be completely out of energy so that maybe we could come back in the end game. But yeah, we're going to charge a ton of energy here with Quagsire, guys. We're going to fire off the Stone Edge, and let's see if he blocks. He does block, so that's good, actually. And we actually read that this is going to be a Solar Beam, guys, so we decided to block that. We were counting the Fire Spins. It's eight Fire Spins to get to that Solar Beam, and we counted 8, I believe, or 9. He may have overcharged just a little bit, but we got it. And here, this is why, guys. This is why I wanted that. I sacrificed my Venusaurs, because now we have this matchup against Blastoise where we can win because he is now out of shields, and he's going to swap into the Fortress, which is perfect because we have that Ninetales ready, guys, and we're going to overcharge just a little bit. We're going to one-bar that Flamethrower. I wanted to gain a little bit of extra energy, but just didn't happen. We're double super effective, and we finish off that Blastoise, or well, we almost do with the Side Shotgun. Now we finish it off with the Stone Edge. That's going to be another GG, and if that's not a perfect example of how you can come back from being down a lot early, that's the example you want. And right there, guys, this is my 1,000th win. 1,000 wins against real very competitive trainers, guys. Like, I didn't do any of that crap with your alt account. You know, I don't have a second account. Yeah, I got all those wins completely by myself, from practice, from training for these cups, especially early on, guys. PvP was so much fun early on when there was no such thing as a cup. I would just try out options against my friends, and yeah. Anyways, let's get into this next game here. We're gonna open Venusaur, and he opens Quag. So this is a great scenario for us. We're already feeling good. We're like questioning our head, why isn't he switching early? But I guess that's why. Because he's going to bring in that Fortress now, and I believe I had Ninetales in this, but I was not expecting a Fortress switch in there because that's not the most positive matchup against. I forget what I was just leading. Whoops. Yeah, Fortress wasn't the most hard counter in the moment. Against my. Oh no, it was a hard counter against Venusaur. I wasn't expecting that, guys. I was expecting a Charizard to come in. And right here we're going to try to burn down that switch clock a little bit, let him get a few extra fast moves in so that we can have our switch clock reset. Because we know Quagsire is going to come back in. And now we're going to switch into our own Venusaur. We're going to force him to use a shield here, which is why I did that very aggressive switch. And now his last Pokemon is Ninetales, which he has no shields for. So this is a very good scenario for us. We can actually get rid of this Ninetales, I believe. But we decided to not block that because we want to be safe here. We don't want to allow him to come back from this match. And you guys might be worried about this right here because it's Ninetales versus Quagsire, but that Quagsire is very low in HP, nearly in Psyshock range, and we still have a shield, guys, so this is crucial. And he decides to go for Sludge Bomb, which I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure Sludge Bomb is the same energy as Stone Edge, but either way, we're going to block and we're going to finish him off with a Fire Spin. So, GG's in that game. That's our 1001th win, or 1001st win, I guess. And let's jump into this next battle. Okay, let's jump into this next battle, guys. Excuse me while I pick my eye. Yeah, we're gonna open Ninetales and he's gonna open Fortress. So we're getting really lucky, guys. This does not happen to me in tournaments usually. As you could tell in my last video, I didn't play the greatest. I made some very stupid and over aggressive switches early on, which in the end hurt me a lot. But yeah, when we have this kind of advantage, it's very hard for my opponent to come back from. You know, being down to a hard counter like that means you're gonna swap out and they're gonna have another hard counter for your counter. So yeah, this cup is pretty dependent on hard counters, but anyways, yeah, he's gonna bring in that Fortress, which is a very smart play. I use all my energy there, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. I love to try to be unpredictable and switch out in perfect times, so that I can prevent them from getting off charge moves and just not allowing them to use their energy. And right here we're gonna go Quagsire because we know we can farm, and we know he just switched out. So great scenario for us to be in here. As long as he doesn't use that Solar Beam, which he does not. So we just decided to straight up go Stone Edge here after charging a bunch of energy. You guys are going to see. Look at that energy, guys. And we are going to be able to KO this Fortress with this final Stone Edge and take that game. So guys, we're on a win streak right now. I hope you're learning from this. From both any of the mistakes I make, or my opponent, or any strong plays or smart plays we both are making. So yeah, I definitely read the comments. Obviously I reply to pretty much everyone, and I definitely am looking out to see what you guys have to say. So appreciate you guys letting me know that you like the format of these tournament style videos, and you know that means I'm gonna make more of them. So alright, getting into this next game, guys, we're gonna open Quagsire. We are loving this line, guys. This 3 line is probably one of my most comfortable lines. Quagsire, Venusaur, and Ninetales is just so good. It covers so much of the meta. It's very strong, and he's gonna open this Fortress. So we're going to fire off this Earthquake, and he's not going to block, so he does not like to use his shields early on. That's one thing we notice about our opponent. And we decided to block that Rock Tomb, guys. That's a rookie mistake. Although he did shield bait us, I think. But who wants to count 20 quick moves from Fortress, right? Like, who really wants to count those turns? You'll be like, your brain will be fried after counting those turns. It's just so hard to count, especially things like Water Gun 2 on Blastoise. It's very hard to count, especially in the moment. But we're gonna have this free switch into our Venusaur, but he's gonna go with the Ice Beam. Oh my god! I'm so used to people trying to bait me. Like in my last turn, I got baited, so that put in my mind, that put in my head, oh, to not block the first one because it's gonna be hydro cannon because it's a bait, right? Well, no, some people just go straight up for the ice beam in an unfavorable matchup like that. But anyways, we have Ninetales here. Against his Ninetales, we're gonna charge farm a little bit of extra energy to see what he does. And does he shield? He does shield, so good. That means we can get our follow-up Side Shock off. And yeah, he's gonna bring in that Blastoise, which means we're gonna switch immediately into our Venusaur with very low HP, guys, and we just barely get off that Frenzy Plant, and we finish off the game there. So obviously that's where you want to pull an aggressive switch, guys. If you have a Pokemon in the back that has energy and has a favorable matchup against their last Pokemon, and you know they're fully reset on energy, like they have to work their way up, it's always better to switch out immediately and don't let them farm energy from your second to last Pokemon. Always in that scenario, you always want to switch out as long as you have the health or the energy to beat them to their charge move. That's a good takeaway from this video, I'd say. But here we have a Quagsire versus a Blastoise, and this is a bad scenario for us. We're going to mirror shields, which is not good because we need to get rid of this Blastoise. That Hydro Cannon does so much damage, and he decides to not block that Earthquake, so that's huge for us. So we're going to eat that Hydro Cannon, just to preserve our final shield. And we know we can finish off this Blastoise with a Venusaur and gain a little bit of extra energy. And he's going to switch in. It looked like he's switching to Quagsire, but then it did this weird white glitch. But then I noticed we both were doing the same amount of damage to each other, so I assumed his was a Ninetales, and it was. You'll see here in a second. This invisible Pokemon. Who's that Pokemon? Yeah, it's a Ninetales, guys. You can see it's using Side Shock. I don't know why it glitched and showed me Quagsire for a split second there. You guys can go back and pause that, but I'm not crazy, right? But yeah, we're still going to be able to win this because we're going to farm a bunch of energy with Venusaur, which is pretty ballsy, but we know his last Pokemon is that Quagsire. And we have a Frenzy Plant ready to go, guys, so this is just the perfect scenario for us. We're going to one-shot that Quagsire every day of the week. Venusaur, very dominant, guys, against this line. Very, very dominant. So if you're running triple waters, guys, all I gotta say is pray your opponent hasn't practiced a lot with Venusaur, because I feel like if you're running triple water, that's kind of a big thing to exploit, and it's kind of an imbalance to your lineup, unless you're gonna run the complete opposite of that, which means you'll be 2 times weak to fire depending on your other Pokemon. I'm just saying, definitely be safe. If I was to run any water type against the Venusaur, it would probably be ooh, I don't know, that's a tough one. Probably be Azumarill, or Blastoise, one of those two, because at least those have Ice Beam to combat those grass types just a little bit. But as I talk here, we're going to switch into Venusaur against this Blastoise again, and he's going to hit us with the Ice Beam again. Oh, that hurts me inside, guys, and we can't get off that charge move, so that really sucks for us. But we're predicting him very well, guys. We've faced this lineup so many times now that we know what he's going to bring out. He hasn't really used Lantern much at all, or Fortress. He hasn't really used that much either, or Venusaur. Speaking of, I really didn't see much Venusaur at all. Probably because he was just, I don't know, worried about my Ninetales maybe. But yeah, this is a match we're probably going to lose, but let's see what happens here, guys. We're going to fire off our Side Shock against his Ninetales, and he's going to get off a final Side Shock, which really sucks. But we have a shield left, guys, and we're going to block that. And his next Pokemon is that Blastoise. We're going to farm that for energy. And his last Pokemon is Lantern. Unlucky. Yeah, this means we're not going to take that game. And that's where he ran double water. And that's where our Venusaur couldn't finish the job there. So a little unlucky, he gambled, but it paid off for him in the end. So in this last matchup, guys, we're gonna be opening with Venusaur because, you know, he opened Blastoise like the last 3 games, so we might as well open Venusaur for once. We wanted to play kind of risky because he just beat us last series. So yeah, right here we were I can't speak, waiting for a switch. And there it is, guys, and we are on that like crazy. We have that down, guys. We have it down. And I see here he's obviously gonna go for a Solar Beam, and if he doesn't, well, that'll pay off for him. He'll bait a shield for me, but we're gonna block it anyways. It's better to be safe than sorry, guys, and he had no shields left anyway. So now we know he has to do 8 more fire spins to get to another Solar Beam, which means we can farm energy here, like so much energy, guys. We are stocked on energy right now, as you can see. If only the cap wasn't 100 energy, I'd probably almost have 3 Stone Edges by this point in time. Well, not 3, but maybe like 2 1/4. And look at that, his last Pokemon was Lantern, so man, our Quagsire would have annihilated this lineup, guys. And we're gonna pretty much one-shot that Lantern there and finish off that final game against our buddy Will. So GG's to everyone who I battled, that being Maddie and Will. I definitely had a lot of fun in these games. And yeah, once I'm sure Maddie is looking to get some revenge against me. I know that for a fact. He'll probably, we'll see what happens at GoFest. If he does enter the open qualifier, he'll probably beat me there. I get a lot of nerves in tournaments, and that kind of leads to my downfall, but we'll see what happens, guys. I'm pretty confident with my lineup currently and with my play style at the moment. I went 3-1 in my tournament. That's pretty decent. I want to give myself more credit, but at the same time, I know I can do better. Like, I know the mistakes I make at tournaments, I can refine upon and make better. So yeah, I overall hope you guys enjoy this format once again. I appreciate all the comments on my last 2 videos about the format. I never thought you guys would really like it that much, but it seems like a lot of you do, so I'm gonna keep with that. I'll try to do this more often. I've definitely been getting in the habit of showing teams right before battles. It usually makes it feel like a tournament, and it adds a lot more value to the practice and to your knowledge of reading and predicting teams and leads and everything like that. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for subscribing, for liking, commenting. You guys know the drill. Smash that subscribe button. Most importantly, leave a comment down below if you like this video as well. And if you want to, you know, hit that like button right down there. I don't even know if I'm pointing where the like button would be, but yeah, it's somewhere on the right, you know? Somewhere down there on the right, I think. You know, around here. Around here, guys. If you can't see my hand. But yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll talk to you in the next video. Until then, guys, take care.